Good morning, dear students. Now, first thing I would like to welcome you all for this new session 2021, and I hope this year is going to be a good year for us. Now, my name is Miss Jyoti and I'll be taking a history class. So, as you all don't have your books, I know, but I want you all to just pay attention, okay, and just listen to what I say. So, the first chapter which we are going to do is Medieval Europe, Rise and Spread of Christianity. This is the first chapter from history. Okay, so this is the first chapter from history, that is Medieval Europe, Rise. This is Rise and Spread of Christianity. Rise and Spread of Christianity. Now, in your previous class, in class 6, okay, you did about ancient history. So, in class 6, you did ancient history where you did about different civilization. You did about Mesopotamia, Harappan civilization, Egyptian, then Chinese civilization. Okay, this is the civilization that which you did in history. You did about the Stone Age, okay, Vedic age, Jainism, Buddhism. These were the chapters which you did it in class 6. Now, in class 7, we will do about medieval history. Ancient, you did it in class 6. In class 7, you are going to do medieval history. So, history, it has been divided into 3 parts: ancient, medieval and modern history. So, class 6 you did about ancient, class 7 you will do modern history, and later, okay, as you go to higher classes you will do about modern history. Okay. So, now as you know about the division of past of mankind into prehistory and history, however, history is further divided into 3 eras. That means it has been divided into 3 periods. Okay, first is ancient history, then medieval history and modern history. So, in class 6 you studied, as I told you, studied about ancient history where you did about the different civilizations, Stone Age, Vedic age, okay. And now we start from this year. In class 7 we are going to start what? Medieval history. And medieval, it is a Latin word which means time in the middle. So, medieval means what? Time in the middle. Time in the middle. M-I-D-D-L-E, middle. Okay. So, what does this time in the middle means? It is a time in the middle between. Okay. Yeah. So, you have this line. So, you have ancient history, ancient, then you have what? Modern in the end, and middle. Why it is known as medieval? Because it is your medieval. Okay, mid, because it is in the middle. It is known as medieval because it is a link between ancient and modern history. It is a link between ancient and modern history. That's why it is known as what? It is known as medieval history. I hope you understood this now, why it is known as medieval history. And this class 7, whatever you do, it is medieval history. Ancient history, you already did it in class 6. Now we go to this medieval period, medieval era. This medieval era, or era means ERA, it is the period. It saw important development in the world such as the spread of Christianity. In this medieval history, we will do first spread of Christianity, then the birth of Islam, the building of Islamic empire, the exchange of knowledge of the ancient Greeks, Indians and other civilization by Muslim scholars to the Europeans. So, this is all what we are going to do in medieval history. Like we will do about Christianity, we will do about Islam, okay, the birth of Islam, then again, the building of Islamic empire, how the Muslim rulers, they came to India and started ruling India. We will do about the Greek knowledge, ancient Greek knowledge, okay, how the Greek knowledge, okay, it was exchanged, okay. Then how do we come to know about the different, let's say the different kind of knowledges from the Greek, Indian, other civilizations by the scholars, the Muslim scholars and Europeans. All this we are going to do in this medieval history. Then first again here it says we will also do about the development in science and also the development in technology. This is all we are going to do in this medieval history. And we begin our journey into medieval history by knowing the birth of Christianity. So the first chapter in medieval history is birth of Christianity. Okay, so let us move on to this birth of Christianity. And when we do this birth, this is the name of the chapter. First chapter, birth of T-I-A-N-I-T-Y, Christianity. And what is the topic which we are going to do today? The topic is socio-political system. What was the social and the political system during this period? Now this was in Europe. In Europe, the period between 600 AD, the period between 600 AD to 1500 AD. So this period 600 AD to 1500 AD is known as the medieval period. Okay, so just remember 600 to 1500 AD is known as the medieval period. This period witnessed many important social, economic and political changes. So there were social changes, there were economic changes and political changes. The Western Roman Empire declined due to barbarian attack. Now the Roman Empire, you must have heard about this Romans. So this Roman Empire which was in Europe, this empire, this Roman Empire, now this declined. Why it declined? Was because of the barbarian attack. Barbarian, B-A-R-B-A-R-I-A-N. Barbarian means it was attacked by, let's say, non-Romans, non-Greek, non-Romans, the warrior. Okay, like for that Roman Empire, these barbarians, they were like aliens and they attack. Aliens means not that alien which comes from a different planet or space. I am talking about that alien. Okay, those group of people. Okay, they were not, neither they were Greek, neither they were Romans. They were just warring tribe, warriors. They attacked the Roman Empire and Roman Empire declined. And these barbarians were Goths, G-O-T-H-S. Okay, Goths, G-O-T-H-S. They were Goths, they were Vandals, V-A-N-D-A-L-S, Vandals, they were Huns, H-U-N-S, Huns, but the Eastern Roman Empire, so the Roman Empire were Western and Eastern. So Western Empire, Western Roman Empire totally declined, but Eastern Roman Empire, it still continued to exist and it was known as the Byzantine Empire. Okay, so this Eastern Roman Empire was known as the Byzantine Empire. Okay, B-Y-Z-A-N-T-I-N-A, B-Y-Z-A-N-T-I-N-A, T-I-N-E, Byzantine Empire. Eastern Roman Empire was known as the Byzantine Empire, which continued to exist till 1453, till 1453. Okay. So, again I will repeat, period between 1600 AD to 1500 AD is known as the medieval period. In this medieval period, there were a lot of changes, economic, social and political. But Roman Empire in Europe, okay, this is about Europe. The Roman Empire in Europe, it declined because the barbarians attacked the Roman Empire. Barbarians like Goths, Vandals and Huns. And Western Roman Empire totally declined, but Eastern Roman Empire, they still continued to exist till 1453, and this Eastern Roman Empire was known as the Byzantine Empire. And after the decline of the Western Roman, so Western Roman Empire, it declined, and now out of a mutual need of a king, the people there evolved a social economic system called feudalism. Now what they needed, this empire totally declined. Now they needed someone okay, to look after the administration. They wanted someone like a head, like a king. So that's why they came up with a system called the feudalism, Feudalism. Feudalism, feudalism, which means the ownership of land and giving certain duties. Okay, so feudalism means the ownership of the land and having certain duties. Okay, this system the people wanted to adopt. Now, the later Roman emperor were weak and failed to release taxes from the people to pay salaries to the officials and defend the kingdom from the invaders. Now, after later on what happened? The Roman rulers, the emperors, the Roman kings, they were very, very weak, and they also failed to release the taxes from the people, and they could not pay salaries to their officials also, and they could not protect their kingdom. So, against this background, the king distributed land among his nobles called the dukes and earls on the condition of service. Now, at this point what happened? The king now started to distribute his land to the nobles like dukes, earls, EARLs, earls and dukes were the noble people. Okay, now kings, because king they were very, very weak, they could not protect the kingdom. So, what did they do? They started giving land. Okay, they started giving land to the nobles like dukes and earls. Okay, on the condition that they would protect, okay, that they would protect the kingdom and do their duty and services. It was a hierarchical means from top to bottom, rank from top to bottom. So, this feudal system was hierarchical from top to bottom. So, at the top, apex means right on the top was the king, and right on top was king, and the lowest was farmers. Okay, then you had nobles, then like this way there were other people in between, but right on top was the king and the last was farmers. From the kings to the lowest noble knights, everybody was bound by allegiance to the overlord, but everybody they had to be, right from the king, the knights, the nobles, okay, dukes. Now, everybody had to be loyal to the overlord. Okay, there were certain laws which they had to follow. Even the kings, even those who were on the top rank, they had to follow certain rules and laws. Feudalism brought order and stability in the social and economic life of the people. Now, this feudalism, it brought a lot of changes. It brought stability in the social and economic life of the people. It encouraged good values. So, there were good values in the kingdom like loyalty, chivalry means like you become very respectful, you have courtesy, okay. So, honor, everything was there, bravery, so etc. All this were there during the feudal system. It prevented the government from being autocratic. So, government was not autocratic at all. So, government treated everyone same. However, the feudal system had certain demerits, but still this feudal system, though it was a very good system, but it had demerits. Like no attention was paid to education and cultural growth. There were no education, there were no cultural growth. The king had no contact with the common people. So, the king did not know what the common people were doing, what problem the common people were facing, because the king did not have direct contact with the common people. It did not encourage individual enterprise. Trade and commerce declined in Europe during the medieval period. So, trade, commerce, it totally declined. However, the picture was not same everywhere. So, in the different parts of Europe, the picture was not same. Why? Because like trade did not decline in other parts of the globe as they did in Europe. Okay, so in Europe what happened? The trade it declined, but on the other parts of the world the trade it did not decline, it started to flourish. But exploitation of the peasants was the main feature in the socio-economic sphere everywhere. But in the socio-economic field, the farmers were exploited. That is, not only in Europe but everywhere the farmers were exploited. Okay, so this was the socio and economic, okay, socio-economic, or let's say the feudal system, the socio-economic system, socio-political system in Europe. Okay, then again today I am going to do another topic. So, two topic, one is the socio-political system, and the short topic is Roman conquest of Palestine. So, again, socio-political system, I hope you have understood what we did about the medieval age, the medieval era, the medieval period, the socio-economic system. Now, Roman conquest of Palestine. After the death of Hasmonean Queen Alexandra, Salome plunged Judea into the civil war between her two sons. Now, after the death of the Queen Alexandra, Hasmonean Queen Alexandra, after she died, then there was a civil war which broke out between her two sons, and it was Hyrcanus and Aristobulus. Okay, Aristobulus and Hyrcanus, they were the two sons of Queen Alexandra. After she died, these two sons, now they fought civil war for the throne. Who is going to be the next ruler? The siege means the capture of Jerusalem in 63 BC. It took place during Pompey the Great campaign in the east. Now, the capture of Jerusalem, now it took place when Pompey was the great emperor, or let's say the great ruler, Roman leader, the great Roman leader. Now, Pompey, he had been asked to intervene in the civil war between Hyrcanus and Aristobulus for the throne of Hasmonean kingdom. Now, these two sons of Queen Alexandra, they were fighting for the throne. And at this time, now Pompey, P-O-M-P-E-Y, now he intervened in this civil war. Okay, that means he interfered in the civil war between the two sons, okay, for the throne. Now, and also who would be the highest priesthood in Jerusalem. Now, these two sons were fighting to be the ruler of this kingdom of Hasmonean, and they also wanted to be the high priest in Jerusalem. When Pompey arrived in Damascus in 63 BC, both the brothers, that is Hyrcanus and Aristobulus, they met him there. Pompey informed the opposing parties that he would resolve the issue once he arrived in Judea, but Aristobulus did not wait for Pompey's decision and left Damascus. Now, these two were fighting civil war, the two brothers. Now, Pompey came and interfered and met them and told them in Damascus that he would settle this matter, okay, without any civil war. But what did Aristobulus do? One of the brother, he did not listen to Pompey and he just left Damascus. Then Aristobulus' supporters did not want to allow the Roman troops into the city of Jerusalem. So Pompey, he was Roman. So Pompey, he wanted to come and enter into Jerusalem with his troops. But Aristobulus did not wanted Pompey and his troops to enter Jerusalem. And what happened? This angered Pompey. Because of this, Pompey became very, very angry, and now he marched with his troops, he marched into Judea, and Aristobulus was arrested and he was captured. Okay. He conquered Jerusalem, he slaughtered 12,000 defending Jews. So, he entered Jerusalem, then he had fight with the army of Aristobulus, and 12,000 Jews were killed. Pompey reinstated Hyrcanus as the high priest, but he did not get the royal title. That means Hyrcanus, after defeating Aristobulus, another brother, okay, Hyrcanus, he did not become the ruler or the king, but he was made the high priest. Okay, he became the high priest, but he did not get the royal title. That means he did not become the king. Judea remained autonomous but was obliged to pay tribute and was made dependent on the Roman administration in Syria. Now Judea, though it was autonomous, that is self-rule, free, but it had to pay what? A tribute. Tribute means a certain amount of money. Okay, it had to pay yearly to the Roman administration. Thus, Judea was incorporated into the Roman Republic as a client kingdom. So, thus this Judea, okay, this kingdom of Judea, now it was incorporated into Roman Republic. So, let us say indirectly this Judea was under the control of the Romans. Okay. So, this way Jerusalem, this way Judea, this kingdom, it came under the Romans. Okay. So, this tells us about how the Romans, okay, they took over the kingdom of Judea, the kingdom of this Jerusalem, or let us say the kingdom of Judea it was under the Romans. Okay, so I am going to stop here. So today what we did is we started with the first chapter from history, which is the rise and the spread of Christianity, and the topic which we did today is socio-political system, okay, in Europe and the Roman conquest, how Roman conquered Palestine, or let us say Jerusalem, Palestine, Judea, all this. Okay, this kingdom was under Roman Empire, and we did, what do you understand by the term medieval? Okay, so don't worry, if you don't have the books, I'll be sending you notes on whatever we did today. Okay, thank you.